Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about some stuff that so many of you guys have inspired from my comments. A lot of you have been telling me now that it's kind of that fall season, we're getting close to the holidays, Halloween is upon us, that a lot of you guys are like on a no buy or a very limited buy or on a budget buy. And I hear you guys saying that almost every video that I've been posting, and I thought, you know what? I need to help my friends out. And I was going to pull out some things that I thought, you know what? I've got some really good budget things in my collection that are just as good as high-end makeup. I need to do a video on that. I have so much makeup in front of me, and I have so much makeup on my face that is all just really great quality products on a low budget. You do not have to overspend on these high-end pricey items that we're always seeing on Trend Mood, that we're always seeing on YouTube, on Facebook, through our friends, everything. You don't have to overspend right now when there is such high quality makeup that is I have right in front of me that I'm gonna tell you guys all about right now. If you are new to my channel, hi new friends! I hope you take a quick moment to hit that subscribe button down below to see all of the fun, loud, weird, unique videos I put out every single week. Starting with base, I absolutely love drugstore foundations, not sorry to say it, and Wet n Wild has some amazing foundations for literally like what, $4.95? $5? It's insane. On Ulta Beauty, it's $5.99, but according to little Google here, it is $4.52 at Target. I have two of them in my collection still. This is Buff Bisque and Soft Beige. One of them is a little bit deeper, and so that way come fall and summertime I can start to transition a bit or mix and match. The only thing that I usually complain about this, and you've probably seen this in a previous video, is that the smell is kinda not the best, and I'm not the biggest fan of the applicator, which is like this little spatula. But what I do like to do with this is put it on like a little plate or a palette of some sort and dump this out and then use either a blender or a brush, and this is amazing. This lasts all day, and I have oily skin, so as long as you kind of like prep your face good, this stuff is amazing and I really like it, and it's inexpensive. What I do after I put on my foundation is I like to do a concealer. I like to do it under the eyes, on the nose, do a little bit of highlighting, and I do have oily skin, so my skin's a little temperamental. The concealer that I think is fantastic, completely annihilates the higher end Tarte Shape Tape, is the Colourpop No Filter Concealer. I have a backup, and I don't have a lot of backups in my collection. So that tells you I am light 16, and I love this under the eyes, on the face, some contouring, some blemish covering, under eye circle covering, lasts all day, amazingness. $6 for this. That's why I have two, because I was like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go all in, because I love this stuff. I think it's amazing. And so many other big YouTubers talk about it all the time, but this is definitely budget friendly and high quality. A powder that I thoroughly enjoy, and again, keep in mind I have oily skin, so this may be different for some of you, but the Essence All About Matte Finishing Powder is amazing. I heard so many people raving about it for so long that I was like, oh my gosh, I need to put this more into my routine to figure out if it's gonna work for me. I love to set my foundation and concealer with this. I think it does a bang up job of keeping all of that shininess away, but keeping my makeup in place as well, and that is super important. This is $3.99. I could not believe it. I think this is amazing and definitely a staple now in my collection, especially for the price. It's amazing on a budget. A bronzer that I have not talked about a lot on my channel, but I did talk about it last year when I got it, is very affordable and very pigmented. This is the Colourpop Pressed Powder Bronzer. Mine is in the shade Afternoon Delight, and this is $7. I, again, have had this for a while, and I've used it a lot, and there is no pan on this baby. Now, there is some kickback into this, and you guys know I love trying bronzers. Bronzers is one of my favorite pieces of makeup, so I do clearly have a lot in my collection, which is probably also a reason you don't see any pan on this. But if you need a quality bronzer, and maybe you can't get your hands on the Wet n Wild one that's limited edition right now, and you need something that's more of a staple that you can reach for and purchase again if necessary, because we all know we have those tried and trues that we really like that don't cost a lot. This is $7. It has some kickback, but even though I've had this for a year, super buttery, super pigmented, and I mean, look at that. You can see it immediately. And you can also build this. I can tell you that too. I just did a heavy hand here. I really like it. I think it really warms up the face, and it's only $7. You do need to mind the fallout. That's one big con that I do have for that product. Highlighters! You know I love me a good highlighter, and an inexpensive highlighter that is constantly competing with my high-end ones. How you doing, Wet n Wild? How are you doing? These are my Mega Glow highlighters. I have 3 now. I started out with 1. I started out with Precious Petals. I have definitely hit pan on this because this was my holy grail through all of last year, through the beginning of this year. Love it so much. And then I was lovingly gifted Botanic Dreams by my darling friend, The Regular Girl Reviews. She is a blogger, and she sent me this knowing that I love the formula. And then I went out and got Blossom Glow on clearance at Target. How you doing? $3.40. I'm wearing this today. I'm wearing this on my face, on my eyes, on my nose. Is it too much? I know you guys yell at me if there's too much highlighter on my nose. I love these so much. They are high quality, they're pigmented, they can achieve that wet face look if that's what you're looking for, or they can achieve a subtle glow depending on what you want. What I use to apply said products is also a Wet n Wild product. This is actually a crease brush. This is supposed to be something you use for your eyes. Well, I like to kind of mix it up a little bit because some highlighting brushes that are about this size that I really like to control where I want the product to go on my cheeks, on my eyes, some of them are just way too expensive. Like, I was pricing them out and it was crazy, but then I was like at the drugstore doing my regular budget shopping for makeup and I saw this brush and I was like, done, give it to me. Obsessed, love it so much. I use this every single day for highlighter, every single day, no exceptions. Blush, and many of you know I'm not a huge blush girl, so I never wanted to spend a lot of money on blush as I was kind of like coming into my own on blush and figuring out what worked for me, what worked for my skin, and the type of makeup that I like to do. Everyone was obsessed for a very, very long time. Some of you are probably familiar with NARS Orgasm. Well, little unbeknownst to me, I actually purchased something that is technically a dupe for the NARS Orgasm, and it was $3. This is my e.l.f. Candid Coral Blush. Look how much pan is on this, because I've had this forever and ever and ever ad nauseum forever. Because I found this, I think I got this on Amazon. You can buy it for $3. I'm gonna list everything below. I could not believe how much I liked this. This is what I'm wearing today. This was the only blush I would wear for a very, very, very long time because I'm not too much of a blush girl. It was just something that's kind of like an afterthought. Let's put it on and go. This is super pigmented. You can layer it up kind of like a bronzer. You can do a light coat just to have like a little bit of blush, or you could really coat it up to really achieve the rosiness or whatever color you're wanting to go with this. Candid Coral works really well for me. I'm sure they have plenty of other shade ranges, but this is the one I love. And again, $3. I've had it forever, and it is comparable by many people to the NARS Orgasm. Done deal. Done deal. Brows. I recently talked about this pencil and I still adore it. I actually just finished it up right before this video, so I'm going to need to add this to my next Colourpop order. And this is the Brow Boss pencil. I love the shape of this. The color that I have is light brown. This is $5. $5 for an amazing brow pencil that is just as good as high-end? Done. I love how small the tip is, so I can really get into some of the areas that are really don't lacquer luster for hair. I can really build up some shade. I really like this. Again, the only problem I had with it, and I mentioned it in my last video, or one of my last videos, was the fact that the functionality of the packaging doesn't work too well because there is a brow spoolie in here. So if you do buy this, if you take off the back end to get to the spoolie, just don't ever try to put it back on because then it's gone forever. But the quality of the pencil itself is so amazing, and so many of you guys in my comments said that in the last video, that you had the same issue, that the back end came off, but you love the pencil so much that you're willing to overlook it because it's so great. It's amazing and it's cheap. $5. Love it. Eyes. So many of you guys have been telling me in my last few videos how I am like ready for fall with all of my eye looks lately. And honestly, none of these eye looks have broken the bank at all because they are mostly Colourpop and Wet n Wild. Do you see a theme in this video? I'm not sponsored. I've never been sponsored, so The first thing that I like to tell you guys about, and I just mentioned this, is the Not a Basic Peach palette from Wet n Wild. This is $4.99 at the drugstore. This has amazing transition shades. I would say this transition has a lot of fallout. It's not my favorite, but it does do well for just kind of like the base of your eye, just to kind of like build up color on top of it. All of these are really good. And so many of you told me some other ones were great from this particular like line of eyeshadow palettes from Wet n Wild as well. And they're all super duper inexpensive. Again, $4.99. Amazing. So I'm wearing that today on my eyes and a bunch of Colourpop. So I told you guys recently that I wanted to try the jelly, which I had, and I did that in a previous video, and so many of you, that's the first video that you guys were like, what is on your eyes? I need it. It is the Fox's Jelly Much eyeshadow. I really, really love this. And a few other Colourpop Super Shock shadows. And I had kind of like steered away from buying those because I always preferred a palette. But honestly, I just kept thinking, man, I really want something inexpensive that's gonna be amazing for the eyes for fall. And I happened to find these. I've seen so many videos. I think Tati was trying on some of them in a video where she was putting on some of these that I was like, I need to go buy these right now. And it is the two that I have in front of me are Let Me Pass and Honor Roll. These were like the back to school editions. That's what I'm wearing right now on my lids is the Let Me Pass, and Honor Roll is in my crease. Obsessed. You do not need to be afraid to put these creams in your lids, on your crease with brushes, fingers, whatever. This formula is amazing. And I kind of steered away from buying these for a while, even though they're $5, which is really inexpensive. You could just use one of these if you wanted to for an incomplete eye look and be out the door. You could use two and be out the door. It's really, really inexpensive, amazing quality. I just really was shifted more to palettes for such a long time. And don't get me wrong, I still absolutely am. But if I'm just kind of wanting to pop on a shade, pop into here and go, I absolutely can. And it gives you this look without trying. Sometimes I'm lazy and I want to not try. The other thing that's on my eyes in the upper part of right above the brown and my upper part of my eye look is a Bumblebee. This is another beautiful orange shade. Underneath my eyes, I have two colors, Cusp and Telepathy. And they're more of like these green hues. This one looks like it's going to be super duper teal, but it's also it's way more green on the skin. I was really surprised by that, but I really enjoy it for like pumpkin looks. Hello, fall. I have really, really been loving those. I mean, that's all I've really been reaching for like 2 weeks since I got them. I just love to have it simple and easy, and I forgot how easy those are to work with. Whether you are a beginner or an advanced makeup specialist, artist, whatever you want to call yourself in the morning when you're getting ready for your day, or the evening if you're getting ready for your evening, these are fantastic. You don't need to be totally skilled at makeup to make them work, and that's why I really like them, because there's days I just don't have time, don't want to muss, don't want to fuss, get it on and let's do this. I love that. Two palettes here that I do have in front of me that I am loving for fall. This one's a little bit more pricey, but not terribly pricey compared to like, we're seeing these $50 palettes out there with Tarte and all these things for the holidays. This Yes Please palette from Colourpop, yeah, beautiful oranges, beautiful yellows, beautiful browns, beautiful burgundy shades. You've got some shimmer, you've got some mattes, you've got a little bit of metallic feel going, and again, $16 for all this. And I've had this palette for a very long time. I've reached into it for so many looks that you guys have said on my comments that you love. Can't beat it. Amazing quality too. The other one that I got over the summer that I'm loving for fall is the Mar palette from Colourpop. This one is only $12, and look at these beautiful pops of blue, which are very on trend for the whole year of 2018, it seems. But also these beautiful oranges. So many of you guys were like, don't you have that palette? That's great, got great oranges in it. I'm like, oh, you right. These beautiful greens over here to kind of marry with it. Obsessed, inexpensive, and you don't have to go spend like 50, 55 bucks on a big palette. Done. Mascaras. Mascaras is something you guys told me about, and I'm obsessed with it. It is actually why I'm not wearing falsies today, because I don't need to with this amazing mascara that is super duper cheap. This Essence Lash Princess mascara is $4.99. Same with the Lash Princess for Volume, $4.99. I mean, yeah, you can buy more expensive mascaras, but you don't really need to. And that's the theme I always hear from other YouTubers, from other subscribers, people that are telling me what they love. You don't need to spend a lot of money on mascara because there's so many amazing drugstore inexpensive mascaras. These are my two favorites, loving them, and why I'm not even wearing falsies today. Some lippies that are not going to be a shock to you if you followed my channel for a while that I love and adore are Colourpop. So much of my lippy collection is Colourpop. I'm wearing Colourpop today. This is Screenshot. I don't think this is available anymore, but the other things I have in my collection are Aquarius 2, Fairy Floss, Beeper. I have so many shades that are great for fall, great for winter, great for summer, any season. I prefer the satin liquid lips because I feel like they're a little less drying and they stay for such a long time and they last a long time. I've had some of these for almost a year, 8 months, 6 months. I love them and I use them so frequently, and they're $6. I cannot recommend them more. I think they're great. I know a lot of people are moving back to more like the bullet lips, and they sell those too. They're pretty inexpensive, but these are the ones that I have been loving, and I don't like to reapply a lot and I drink a lot of water throughout the day. satin liquid lips is still where it's at for me. One of the last things I'm going to talk about, and I heard Tati compare this to the Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray, and I was like, I knew it was good, but I hadn't tried the all-nighter to do that comparison. But when Tati Westbrook, the Glam Life Guru, says something, I believe it. So when she said the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Natural Finish Setting Spray that you guys have heard me talk about over and over and over was comparable to that, I was like, okay. Thank you for helping me save my pennies, because I did kind of have that in my wish list. It's probably still, to be honest, on my wish list just so I can compare it myself. But I felt less pressure to go and buy the more higher end pricey item when she's saying this is just as good. Now, yes, you get less product. This only has 1.52 fluid ounces in it, but I love it and I use it so often, and I just love it. It's amazing. I live in hot Florida where it's still humid and stuff and rainy, and this holds my ish together so flipping well. I love it. And I like knowing that it's kind of got that seal of approval from someone else who tries a ton of makeup to know. So I'm happy to share that with you guys as well. I've just gone through so much makeup, and I'm sure there's so many more pieces out there that are just as good as high end that you guys know about. So be sure to share and care with our friends below. Tell me, tell our friends, what are some things that you have been loving that are just as good as high end but doesn't have that high end price tag? All of us are trying to save our pennies where we can. We love to shop our stashes. So let us know some things that are just as good as high end for you so we can all learn from you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you happen to be new to my channel, hi new friend! I hope you take a quick moment to hit that subscribe button down below to see all of the fun, loud, weird, unique videos I put out every single week. Bye friends!